John chapter 10 from verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. Now let's consider the first statement Jesus made. I am the good shepherd. Now, before this place, Jesus already made mention of the true shepherd. So there is the true shepherd and there is the good shepherd. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you look at what Jesus was saying from the beginning of this verse, you will now discover that the true shepherd is the one that passes through the door. So, and Jesus is now saying, I'm the good shepherd. So that means it takes the good shepherd to make a true shepherd. So to be a true shepherd, you will have to pass through the good shepherd. Now look at this. The good shepherd is the entrance to becoming a true shepherd. So for you to become a true shepherd, you must pass through the good shepherd. Because the good shepherd was speaking in the previous verses, he said, I am the door. And that is the door that every shepherd must pass through into the sheepfold. So every shepherd that has not passed through the good shepherd is false. And such is referred to as thief and the robber. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right, I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So there's a difference between the good shepherd and the true shepherd. Now, the true shepherd is expected to pass through the door, which is the good shepherd. That's one of the primary responsibility of the true shepherd. Number two, the true shepherd is also expected to teach the sheep how to relate with the good shepherd. Three, the true shepherd is also expected to teach the sheep, how to identify the good shepherd. So anytime we come before the people and we review Jesus, we teach them how to relate with Jesus, what we are doing is we are helping them to know the good shepherd, which is the source. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, he now says, I'm the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So what the true shepherd does is not the same as what the good shepherd does. Number one, the good shepherd functions as the door. The good shepherd functions as the entrance. So anyone that will enter into the sheepfold legally must pass through the good shepherd. That's one. Number two, only the good shepherd can lay down his life. Only the good shepherd can lay down his life for the sheep. What do I mean? Anybody can die for anybody, for whatever reason, whether for love or for whatever. But that death is an ordinary death. So it is only the good shepherd that can die for the sheep, and the blood will serve as an atonement. It is only the good shepherd that can die for the sheep, and the blood will count. Even if the true shepherd dies for the sheep, his blood will not count. Now, for you to understand this teaching, you may need to go and listen to part 1 and 2. I started the first part of this teaching around around 9:10. So today, this night. So you may go and listen to that. You listen to part 1 and part 2 before you come here, because if you don't listen to part 1 and part 2 and you start from part 3, you may not understand what I'm saying. Because what I'm saying is a building. I'm building on the existing foundation that I've laid by the Spirit of God. So I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. So Jesus demonstrated this statement by going to the cross. Now, see, there are certain things that Jesus did that you don't dare to do. Because if you do it, you just die. And then you will die for nothing. For example, oh, Jesus went to the cross, he died for the sins of the world. And if you die for whatever reason, you have died for nothing. Because your blood cannot atone for any sins. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's why it is only the good shepherd that can lay down his life for the sheep, and it will count. That one is beyond just labors. It's beyond just sacrifice. This one is higher. Is a higher measure of service, not to the people, but first to the Father. Of course, it will have impact on the people, but it is first to the Father. To the Father. Are you getting what I'm saying? Verse 12. But he that is an hireling, he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. Now look at this. Jesus now said, but the one that is an hireling, who is an hireling? An hireling is someone that is doing something for profit. Are you there? So ministry is actually for profit. But you need to understand who makes the profit. It's not the called, it's the caller. So the caller may now choose to rub off some things on you, some glory, but it is primarily the caller. If any goodies will come to you, it's the caller that will allocate it. It will not be you trying to get something by manipulating people. Are you getting what I'm saying? So Jesus said, but he that is an hireling, that means that one that his attention is on gain. Are you there? His attention is on gain. For example, if you ask an hireling to oversee the sheep, he will do something, but he will not care for them. His attention will be on his salary. Let him just collect his salary. What is his business? Whether they die or not. Are you there? Because his attention is on the profit, the gain. Look at what Jesus now says. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd. So Jesus is saying that is a direct statement. Jesus is simply saying, if you are an hireling, you are not the shepherd, not a shepherd. If you are an hireling, you can be a shepherd, but you are not the shepherd. There is that word the is a definite article. So if you are an hireling, you may be a shepherd, but you are not the shepherd. The shepherd is the God kind of shepherd. Are you there? So if you are an hireling, you are not the shepherd. Meaning, the moment you get to the point where your attention is now on gain, what you can get, what you can have, what you can take, what you can steal. Are you there? What you can draw. Once you get to that point, you are not the shepherd. You are not God's kind of shepherd. You are no longer carrying the image that God has concerning who a shepherd should be. Are you getting what I'm saying? But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd. So an hireling is not the shepherd. You are not the shepherd if your attention is on what you can get. You are not the shepherd. You are not the shepherd if you are doing what you are doing for pleasure. If it is all about what will favor you, you are not the shepherd. If it is all about you, you are not the shepherd. You are not the shepherd. Because it has to be all about God. Are you getting what I'm saying? The moment this focus of what you are doing is not God, but it is self, you are not the shepherd. It simply means you are an hireling. And an hireling is another word that Jesus was using to describe the thief and the robber. Because definitely we know that an hireling came in, but not through the door. Are you getting what I'm saying? Okay. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose home the sheep are not. Can you see that? So that means the sheep does not belong to the hireling. And that's why he feels he can do anything with them. That's why he's not feeding the sheep, but now he's feeding on the sheep. It's just like somebody trusting you with maybe about 50 cows, and then these cows are fat, they are looking good. And then because you are an hireling, because you are not concerned about those cows, are you there? Apart from your salary, you can begin to do other things with the cow. Are you there? Drain their breast for milk, sell it. Are you there? You are draining their breast for milk, you are not feeding them. Are you there? It will get to a time that those fat cows will start becoming lean because you are not helping them, you are using them. You are not feeding them, you are feeding on them. If what I'm saying describes the kind of ministry you are doing, you are an hireling. Indirectly, you are a thief and a robber because that's what Jesus says. And the reason you have become a thief and a robber now is because you did not pass through the door. So, because you did not pass through the door, you are not the true shepherd. Why? You have not met the good shepherd. For you to be true, the good shepherd must hold your hands and bring you in. Are you getting what I'm saying? That's the key. That's the order. That's the sequence. That's the protocol. Are you getting what I'm saying? But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming. Can you see that? So that means even the hireling can see the wolf. Yes. The same way the sheep can see the wolf, the hirelings can also see the wolf. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now let's look at the reaction of the hireling when he sees the wolf. Seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth. Can you see that? So Jesus is now saying that when an hireling sees danger, he will leave the sheep and run away for his life. That's an hireling, meaning he doesn't care about the sheep. Are you there? It's just like you are running a ministry, they came to you for counseling, you don't have time. And when you even give them counsels, those things you are saying, they are not the will of God. But you are good at ensuring that they give and give and give and give to a point that even when they are coming for meetings, they are scared. Because they know that if by the time they are going back from that meeting, they will not have a kobo. And the list of the currencies will no longer be on them because you will have collected everything. The reason you are so focused on gain is because you are not true. You are an hireling. So when you see wolf, you run. That's why you are running from wolf. That's why you cannot stand to protect them from wolf. Are you there? But protecting the sheep from wolf can be as simple as you identifying yourself with the people when they are in need. Some of us do not know that as a shepherd, one of the periods when the sheep need us the most is when they are passing through certain difficult times. I have stood with someone before with handcuff. I've stood with the person before. I took the shame. Yes, people were looking at me and they said, bro, no, and this. I took the shame. I was not happy, but I took the shame. I told myself I would never go to police station in my life. I went there. Even the policemen they were acting like boss. Are you there? I took all the shame. Stayed in the police station till night. What I said I would never, I took those shame. Why? Because I'm not an hireling. So I will not run. I will not leave the sheep because of the wolf. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. If you leave the sheep when they need you the most, it's because you are not true. You are an hireling. Are you there? Because your focus is the glory. Yes, if you are not careful as a minister, your attention will begin to shift to the glory. Oh, when they see me, when the sisters see me, they go on their knees. They call me Papa. They send some tokens to me. They post my picture online. They share my flyers. They publicize things that I'm doing. All these things can make you feel like you have gotten there when you are not even there. So how you do what you call service is a pointer to the kind of person you are. Are you getting what I'm saying? Don't be an hireling. Ministry is not for hirelings. Are you there? Because if an hireling comes into ministry, he will not glorify God. He will never glorify God. He doesn't have those mechanisms. God is not glorified in the ministry of an hireling. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right. Okay. And leaveth the sheep and fleeth. The word fleeth means the hireling will run away. And the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep. So Jesus is now saying that by the time the hireling runs away, the wolf will now come and stay in the middle of the sheep and begin to catch them and then scatter the sheep. Can you see? The Bible did not say the wolf will catch them and hit them. No, Jesus said the wolf will catch them and scatter them. Now, that statement, scatter them, means that he's going to plant a seed in their midst. Jesus was speaking to some people one time, and he said, when man sleeps, he said the enemy came and sowed tares. Are you there? That enemy that came to sow was a wolf. And the reason he could sow was because the supposed shepherd was not available. I I I I I I perceive that shepherd is likely to be an hireling. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because if we take our right position, the enemy will not have a chance to sow. That's why Jesus was now saying that when the wolf came, the wolf catch them and then scatter them. How did the wolf scatter them? Through the seed he planted in the absence of the shepherd. Are you getting what I'm saying? So we may leave our sheep, run away, then run back again. By the time we run back, we may still meet them there. So to us, we think ministry continue. You just apologize. I'm sorry. Are you getting what I'm saying? See, there are some things we do. We don't know the weight of what we have done. You think you just come back and say, hey, I'm sorry. Let's continue what you have been doing. Well, they may flow with you. But you see, that period when you left them, the wolf had come. He had visited them. As a matter of fact, he has sown a seed. So as you begin to do what you are doing, the seed will be growing. You will just suddenly discover that they are scattering. Scattering there means there is disunity. Are you there? There is no peace. There is restlessness. Those things you are seeing can be a pointer to the fact that at a particular point, when you were absent at your duty post, the wolf came and planted a seed. Let's look at verse 13. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. So Jesus now says that the reason this man or this woman will run away and leave the sheep is because he is an hireling. What can you say from that? It's because of who he is. Nature. Nature. What makes an hireling is nature. Greed. This nature of I want to have everything. I want to get all of it. All must be mine. What will I gain? What will I get from this? I can't do anything for free. Yes. So he's not running because of anything. He's running because of his nature. By nature, that is what he will do. He can't do anything better than that. As a matter of fact, the best thing an hireling can do when he sees a wolf coming is to run away. Yes, because he can even choose to stay in there and be pushing the sheep to the wolf one after the other. Because he believes that the wolf cannot get to him before he throws like 5 sheep to the wolf. Even the wolf will be satisfied and the wolf will go away. So the best the hireling can do is to run away. And Jesus is now telling us that the hireling will run away because he is an hireling. So the things you do can be a pointer to who you are, the nature you have secured. If you are an hireling, you can't fake it. If you see wolf, you will run. And that will even be the best thing you can, that will be the nicest thing you can ever do in your life, is to run away as an hireling. But if you are the true shepherd, you know what to do. You will stay there and fight the wolf to defend the sheep. So the difference between the true shepherd and the hireling is nature. Nature. Let's go to the next. All right, before we go to the next verse, which is verse 14, let's look at verse 13 again. The hireling fleeth because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep. So another thing to note about the hireling is care. They don't have care. They don't know how to show care. And when I say they don't know how to show care, I'm not saying they don't know how to do nice things. Some of these hirelings can even buy you a car. They can give you a house, get you a job, give you money, employ you. Are you there? Which is still getting you a job anyway. Are you there? But you see, the motive for what they are doing is always corrupt because they don't have care. They don't know how to show care. So if they are doing anything that looks like care, they are doing it with a corrupt motive. And that's because of who they are. The hireling will not care for the sheep. So whatever good thing the hireling is doing for the sheep, he's doing it for his own gain. Whatever good thing the hireling is doing for the sheep, he is doing it so that he can make more profit. So even when he's feeding the sheep, he's doing it for his own benefit. So the sheep feels is being cared for, not knowing that the one that is feeding him is doing that for a selfish interest. All right, let me give you an example. If you have ever read a chicken before, you know what I'm saying. I have done that before. When I was still very young as a teenager, we do that a lot. Both local chicken and we do that a lot. So I know what it means to rear, especially chicken. And then if you are rearing chicken, you see that You feed the chicken. Are you there? You feed the chicken. You know, I remember in those days, I would even catch the chicken, hold the chicken and check the lap. There's a way we used to check. Oh yes, meat are coming there. I'll put the chicken down again. The chicken will run and enjoy. Now, to the chicken feels that I'm caring for it, right? That's what the chicken will think. So sometimes I'll do coo 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 coo. The chicken will run. I'll pour rice for them, give them their food. They will eat and eat. Before you know it, their stomach will be big. You know, they crop on the attached to their neck. If you have seen a chicken before, you know what I'm saying. That their crop will be very big. And then, even sometimes when they see me moving, they'll just be following me. They have gotten used to those things I used to do. So to them, I'm a friend. Not knowing that, not knowing that those things I'm doing, it's not really because I really love them. It's not really because I care for them. Are you there? But the things I'm doing for them is for myself. I'm feeding them so that they can be big. Are you there? So in the day I will kill them for meat, I will have more meat to eat. That's how I'm feeding them. But the chicken I'm feeding feels that I care for them. That's how it is with an hireling. An hireling can even feed the sheep. So you can't say, oh, this man is because he gave me this, he gave me that. No, it's not about the gift. It's about the nature. Are you there? It doesn't matter how good the gift is. If it is an hireling that is giving you, there will be a problem. Now let's look at verse 14. Now Jesus speaking here, Jesus said, I am the good shepherd. I am the good shepherd and know my sheep, and I am known of mine. Now this is the second time Jesus is referring to himself as the good shepherd. The first time he introduced himself as the good shepherd. This is the second time saying the same thing. I am the good shepherd. And this time he now says, I know my sheep and my sheep knows me. Now, I know my sheep. That statement, my sheep, there is within a context. It's within a context. You will think my sheep are those sheep, the general sheep. No, my sheep are the shepherd. My sheep that the good shepherd is referring to is the true shepherd. So the true shepherd is the sheep of the good shepherd. you know you have to pass through the door, which is Jesus. Jesus is the door, and Jesus calls himself the good shepherd. So you need to pass through the door. Are you there to enter into the sheepfold so that you can be a true shepherd? Are you get what I'm saying? So when Jesus says, I know my sheep and my sheep knows me, what he's saying is, when he says, I know my sheep, he's saying that I know the true shepherds. I know the people that entered into the sheepfold through me. He's saying, I know the people I called into ministry. Not all these people, I know my sheep, meaning I know my people. I know those that I called. And then they know me. Are you seeing that? Let's take that verse again, verse 14. I'm the good shepherd and know my sheep, and I'm known of mine. So who are the mine? They are the true shepherds. Those that came in through the door and not through any other means. I hope you understand that. The next verse. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father. I lay down my life for the sheep. Now look at this. The Father knows the good shepherd, and the good shepherd knows the Father. Now this is the chain the Father is the shepherd of the good shepherd. So that means the good shepherd is the sheep of the Father. The good shepherd is the sheep of the Father, or the good shepherd is a sheep to the Father. But the best thing to say is to say that the good shepherd is the sheep of the Father. Please note that. Number two, the true shepherd is the sheep of the good shepherd. Right there. And the sheep that will hear God's voice and be able to discern, the sheep that will be protected from wolf, must be the sheep of the true shepherd. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. Can you see that? I lay down my life for the sheep. So nobody forced Jesus to do that. He did it deliberately. He did it willingly. That means one of the things to observe about the true shepherd is that whatever he's doing for the sheep will be willingly. It will come from the heart of service. Not, oh, I just have to do it because, no. It will come from willingness. It will not come from a burdened heart. It will come from a cheerful heart. Are you there? A true shepherd will see it as an opportunity to lead the sheep. He will see it as a privilege to defend the sheep from the attack of the wolf. Are you getting what I'm saying? All right. As the Father knoweth me, even so know I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. Can you see that? And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring. Can you see that? Let's even stop in that statement. Let's consider the statement carefully. So Jesus said, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring. I must bring. So Jesus is now saying he has other sheep, but they are not part of this fold. So he's saying those sheep, he will bring them definitely. So what does it mean? You can be in a place, are you there? And that is not your place. Are you there? It will mean that you are not yet in the fold where God wants you to be. And when it is time, He will bring you to that fold. That's what Jesus was saying. Are you getting what I'm saying? Jesus was telling them that He has some sheep that are not even here now, but He will definitely bring them. That's why most of the people that comes to join our fellowships, they are not people that have never been to any other fellowship before. Somehow God just took them, are you there, and added them to the fold. Those people that were added to the fold, they were the people that Jesus was referring to. They were Jesus's sheep, but at that time they were not part of the fold. So, but as you continue consistently, in the things that God has called you to do, you will create, a platform for God to bring in those sheep that are straying outside. When I say straying, I'm not necessarily saying that you are moving on the street aimlessly. Straying in this context, of course, it involves that, but straying in this context goes beyond that. Straying in this context can also mean staying in the wrong place, in the wrong fold. If you are in the wrong place, you are astray. You understand? All right, we are going to start from verse 16. Jesus was speaking to the people here. He told them, he said, "And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd." Now, there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Now, that means what Jesus was trying to do in this place was to create a picture that will be pleasing to the Father. And that's the picture of humility. How that they can all be one fold, are you there? One fold and one shepherd. That's a very powerful statement. Let's look at that verse again. Okay. Another sheep I have. Okay, no. Is it 17? Okay. Okay, let's still take 16. Another sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Can you see that? When them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be there shall be, okay, okay, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Praise the Lord. Now, one fold and one shepherd, according to the words of Jesus, if you look at verse 16 again, it says, "Another sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice." Can you see that? They shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. So Jesus is the one that is going to bring them in. Yes, according to this verse, Jesus was saying that he is the one that will bring them in. Are you there? And then not only that, Jesus is doing what he's doing with the church so that we can get to a point where the summary of what we are doing is one fold, one shepherd. Are you there? One fold, one shepherd. Now, looking at the world we are in now, this statement is almost impossible. Yes, are you there? Because of how complex things are, the devil has successfully added some things to life. And those things he added to life were the things that made it hard for a human being to please God. But what God wants to do is he wants to make the people one fold and one shepherd. That means he wants to bring unity to their midst. They are many, but yet he wants to make them one fold. Can you see that? He wants to make them one fold. Meaning, though they are many, but they have the same identity. They are all in the same place. One fold, one shepherd. That's unity. And the disunity is when you have, one shepherd and you have many folds. No, as a shepherd, you don't need to have many folds. Just one fold is enough. And the one fold, one shepherd. That's the strategy. That's the order that Jesus brought. Verse 17. Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. So Jesus is now saying, this is why my Father loves me. My Father loves me because I lay down my life so that I can take it again. So the kind of giving or the kind of sacrifice that God appreciates is the one that is coming from a cheerful heart. Are you get what I'm saying? The one that is, the one that is coming from a willing heart. Jesus gave his life. Are you there? And he made a statement. He said, I gave them my life so that I can take it again. So he gave his life to save his life. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because the same life that he laid down, he picked it again. That means Jesus going to the cross. Are you there? The devil may actually inspire certain people to go against Jesus. I get what I'm saying, but I can assure you that the death of Jesus was between the Father and the Son. That's the truth. The death of Jesus was between the Father. Are you there? Was between the Father and the Son. So it was not like Jesus died so that he can present his blood to the devil and appease the devil. No. Everything Jesus was offering was not to the devil. He was offering what he was doing, what he was doing to the Father. So the death of Jesus was an offering from the Son to the Father. So that was why after laying down his life, he could pick it up again. Are you there? He could pick it up again. Now look at verse 18. Jesus still speaking. He said, no man taketh it from me. He was referring to his life. That he laid his life down. That no man taketh it from me. But I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment have I received of my Father. So Jesus now says, I have power to lay down my life, and I have the power to take it again. And that is the exact thing that made the sacrifices of Jesus powerful. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes, because the one that gave his life can also receive it. So Jesus gave his life, yet he received it. That's a picture of what happened on the cross. Are you there? Because in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Are you get what I'm saying? So having power to lay it down here means that it was everything that happened on the cross was between the Son and the Father. Are you getting what I'm saying? Because though the Son had power to not to even lay his life down, but he chose to lay it down. Look at this. Jesus said, I lay down my life so that I can pick it up again. Jesus laid down his life on the cross, and he picked it back again with the Father. So Jesus resurrecting from the dead was a proof that at a particular point, Jesus picked up that life. He picked it up again. Are you getting what I'm saying? It is a wonderful thing to know that verse 18 is pointing to the cross. Jesus is saying that nobody took the life from him, he laid it down. Are you there? It means that it was not like Jesus went to die and then the blood was taken to the devil so that the devil will release us. No. Everything that happened to Jesus, just like I said before, is between the Father and the Son. So when Jesus died on the cross, he laid down his life. Are you there? And then he picked it up again through the Father. So the Father resurrecting the Son is what is equals to the Son picking the life back again. That's what Jesus was trying to say in verse 18. Let's read verse 18 again. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down myself. I have the power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. So Jesus laid it down when he died on the cross. Jesus took it again in the Father. When the Father raised him on the third day, that was when he took it again. So what he was saying with that statement is something that has to do with the cross. This commandment have I received of my Father. This commandment have I received of my Father. Now, what is the commandment? Now, if you look at that now, you begin to wonder, where is the commandment here? There's no thou shall not steal, thou shall not kill. So where is the commandment Jesus was talking about? Right there. So the commandment here now is I lay down my life myself, and then I have the power to pick it up. I lay it down, not because I don't have the power to pick it up. I laid it down because I have the power to pick it up. That is a commandment. And that's the commandment of death to self. That's the commandment of humility. Are you getting what I'm saying? So it's a commandment from the Father that the Son should lay down his life. Are you there? And leave it there, waiting for the Father to pick it. Are you there? So though Jesus could pick it up, but the Father told him to lay it down. So the Father said, my son, I know you can pick it up, but lay it down and wait for me to pick up that life. Meaning, wait for me to raise you from the dead. That was a commandment. That was the commandment Jesus was talking about here. That was a commandment I received from my Father. So the Father told me to lay it down and wait for him to pick it up. So I picked up my life again in the Father when he raised me. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. Oh, glory to Jesus. Now, verse 19, there was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings. That means there had been a division before. So the Bible is saying after Jesus finished this preaching, there was another kind of division. Why? They do not understand. So confusion is the foundation for division. That's why the Bible says God is not the author of confusion, because God does not support division. So before the devil brings division, he first positions us in such a way that the things that God is saying in a clear way, we cannot receive it. Look at Jesus started with a parable. If you were following the teaching from part 1, part 2, part 3, you discover that at a point they told Jesus that they don't understand. And then Jesus went again to start re-explaining to them. Then Jesus told them, all right, that door, I am the door. Are you getting what I'm saying? And yet, at the end of the day, look at what happened. Now said there was a division, therefore, again among the Jews for these sayings. You know what that means? Even after Jesus simplified it, the Jews still did not understand. Why? It was not given to them. So when it has to do with spiritual things, are you there? When it has to do with spiritual things, that you have heard with the hearing of the ears is not enough. That thing must be given to you for you to actually come into understanding. So those spiritual truths that you understood were the things that were given to you. I have heard alone does not define understanding until they have been given to you. Verse 20, and many of them said, he hath a devil and he is mad. Why hear ye him? Can you see that? So those that were confused because they did not understand what Jesus was saying, they said, this man is a devil. Not only that, he is mad. So why are you listening to him? Can you see that the Father spoke from heaven and said, this is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well pleased. Hear ye him. These people listen to him now because they don't understand. They are now saying, why hear ye him? Can you see that? So they are questioning the statement of God concerning Jesus because of their confusion. So that's why God is not the author of confusion, because if you ever come into confusion, and the things that you are going to say will never be accurate. You begin to question the things that God is saying, just like what they are saying now. Why hear ye him? How will you say why hear ye him after the Father has spoken that this is my beloved Son? In whom I'm well placed, hear ye him. So those people who are fighting you, those people who are opposing you, they are the people who have not really, who might have heard your teachings as a minister, who might have seen the things that God is doing through you, but have not, the full form of your ministry has not been given to them. Just like it happened to Jesus. There are certain people that they are not supporting you. They may even hate what you are doing. That hatred you receive from them is not a sign that God has not called you. It's only a sign that they have not come into the understanding of the assignment that God gave to you. Are you getting what I'm saying? God bless you.